Good morning. It's Wednesday, March 31st. It's a rainy day. You know, they say that April showers bring May flowers, and so I always say, well, what do May flowers bring? Pilgrims. Ha, little dad joke for you this morning. In the tradition of the church, today is a day that we read and remember that story in John 12, which John puts about last weekend, but really doesn't matter. It's a story where Jesus is having supper at the house of Mary and Martha and Lazarus in Bethany, which is where he spent these last few nights before he died. And he's having supper with them, and Mary uh, comes in the room with a jar of very expensive perfume. It's made of pure nard, the scripture says. So it's very expensive. It's kind of a ointment almost sort of thing. Not perfume like we think of it, but more of a oil based sort of a thing. And she anoints his feet with it, and then uses her long hair to wipe his feet and stuff. And it's an act of devotion and love, and in a way, it prepares him for his death. She realizes what is what's going to happen to him, and realizes that this is coming. Judas is there, Judas Iscariot, and he begins to complain. Oh, this money, this should have been sold. You could have gotten 300 denarii for it, which is like a year's pay, and we could have given it to the poor. Why would you waste it like this? And there's a contrast for you that we need to think about. We don't always need to give everything to the poor. Sometimes it's quite legitimate, even in the life of the church, to spend some money on things that are beautiful and lasting. Um, and we can do that without any shame, I think. We had quite a battle in my last church because it was time to upgrade and replace the pipe organ. The one we had was not well cared for, and it needed work. And it wasn't a great instrument to start with, and so we got a bequest for a lot of money, and it was designated for that fund, and so suddenly we had something like $600,000 that we were going to put into a new pipe organ, and we did, and we put in a very nice one, almost as nice as the one here in Newton. And there were people who said, "Why don't we get an electronic organ and then send that money somewhere where it will do some good?" And I kept thinking, you don't think having beautiful music on a fine instrument is worthwhile? And they said, no, we think money should be spent on mission. And I tried to say, mission is everything we do in the church, not simply those things that help people directly. But we couldn't get that message across. And we did build the pipe organ, and it was a fine instrument. But for us in our tradition that's heavily geared toward helping other people, and Scripture certainly calls us to help other people, we need to stop and think. Sometimes we need to spend our energy and our money and our efforts on devotion to Jesus and things that are beautiful, and not worry quite so much that every nickel gets sent to some mission somewhere. Think about that today as we prepare for Maundy Thursday and Good Friday. Think about what it is that we do and can do that will make our lives better and make Jesus' life come to life for us. Have a great day, even if it's raining.